everybody, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon craft with me, James. So today is a very special day. Do you know what it is? It's not Christmas, and it's not Halloween. No, it's Valentine's Day. And what better way to say I love you than with a bundle of hearts. So today we'll be making a heart basket with a little heart booklet to go inside. So for this craft, what you'll need is the printable template, which you can find at myteddyandfriends.com in the craft section. There's a link down below in the description. You'll also need two other pieces of paper. I'm going to be using two colored pieces of paper, one pink and one blue. You'll also need your crayons and someone young enough to use them, your scissors and someone old enough to use them, and this time we're not using our trusty glue stick, we're going to use a stapler. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, so here we are. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our pieces of paper all in order. We'll make sure that they're all piled up nice and neatly so the edges all match. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to staple the corners of the paper. And for all the teachers out there, this is a handy trick. The reason we're doing this is because we're going to be cutting out all these hearts and all these shapes all at once. And if you have a pile of papers, they usually slip around. So this is just going to keep everything nice and neat and tidy where it should be. Alright. And now we are ready to start cutting things out, just like that. So, as usual, I'm going to sit up so I'm nice and stable. Don't want to be falling on my scissors, and I'll pick up my scissors. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut right down the middle here and separate this big piece, which is going to become our heart basket, and the hearts. And so I'll just start from the edge and a nice straight cut to get us all warmed up. My hands are well out of the way, and it's a straight cut so it's nice and easy. And then just cut it out to the edge. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start cutting out these hearts. Now, like I said, I want these staples in here to hold the papers together, so I'm going to cut this middle edge first and then cut around the outside, and then I'll cut the middle first and then cut the outside. So I'll start here because it's a nice easy straight cut again. Hands are well out of the way, and my scissors are lined up with that line, and cut, cut. Now once I get to this curved part, I'm just going to turn the paper, and I'm going to use really nice small cuts just so I can follow along that line. Make sure that line is under the scissors before you squeeze. And right down into the center of that heart. And then one blade underneath, one blade up. Turn the page until I can see my line again. And then squeeze. And just turning the page as I go along. And then a nice straight cut to finish it off. And now you can see we've got a white heart and a blue heart and a pink heart, and they're all the same size, which is what we want. Alright, and then I'm going to go on the other side here. Like I said, I'm going to try and cut the middle first and then around the outside. So I'm going to hold the page just on the edge here, make sure my fingers are out of the way, and start with that nice straight cut. Scissors pointing away from me. Once I get to the curve, I'm just going to turn the page until I can see that line. Turn the page. Alright, and I think I'm just going to cut this piece of paper off there and start again on the other side, because that's where my scissors are. Now, of course, if you're left-handed, you might do it the other way around if you're using left-handed scissors. I'm left-handed, but I use right-handed scissors. I find it a little bit easier to find scissors. Alright, so I'll do that nice straight line. And now I'm going to be careful to hold all those papers together when I cut past that staple, because then my pages will start sliding. So I just want to be careful that they don't slide all over the place. And one blade underneath and one blade above until I can see my line, and then I squeeze and turn the page, nice small cuts, and there we go. Now we've got some more hearts. We've got a white heart, and a blue heart, and a pink heart. Alright, and we'll set those aside for later. You can put those pages in any order you want. I think I'm going to have white, pink, blue, and then pink, blue, white. Actually, before I set those aside, I might as well. I'm just going to put a little staple in the corner here. And there we go, we've got a nice little heart booklet. And I'm going to write a poem on there to put inside my basket. You could draw pictures of things, or you could write a letter, or pretty much anything you like, or you could just leave it blank and, you know, give it away as a notebook for somebody to write in. So there's that. Okay, and now I'm going to cut around these parts here. So pick a side, any side, and for these curved parts, my fingers are way out of the way, and I'm just going to use small cuts, turning the page so that my line is underneath as I go along. Just try and make sure that those pages are sitting flat together, because if they crinkle up, then you'll have different sized pieces, and you don't really want that. Alright, and around, and there we go. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this in half, with the lines, the white side out, the lines so I can see them. Okay, and so I just lined up that round piece on the end, and I can just run my fingers back until I pinch the one side, run my fingers back, pinch the other side, and then just a crease across there, just like that. Alright, and now I'm going to cut these lines in the middle, and we want to make sure we cut both sides. So my fingers are way out of the way, the scissors all lined up, nice straight line, and cut. Now, when you're cutting, we want to stay close to that edge, but we can probably go a little bit further. It'll make it easier but you just don't want to cut all the way through the top of your heart. Just a little bit further is probably okay. And move my fingers over to the edge so I know where they are. Line up my scissors, and a nice straight cut. You can see the paper's shifting a little bit, the edges. That's why we had those staples. Now here it won't make a big difference, but just going to try and line those up before I make my last cut. Put my scissors down. And try and make sure those lines are as straight as possible. Now I don't have a whole lot to hold on to here. I think I might flip it over so that I can hold these parts. Alright, and just that last line. I know where my fingers are. My scissors are all lined up, and a nice straight cut. There we go. And just a little bit past that line. Not too far. Just a little bit. You can see we've just gone a little bit past that line. Okay, now I'm going to separate the parts, and I've got a blue part and a pink part and this white part. Now the white part, if you're going to make another heart-shaped basket, you could use this same template again and just fold it around some new pieces of paper, or you can put it in the recycling bin. This time I used fresh paper because I wanted the hearts in my heart booklet to have two blank sides instead of having writing on one side. So we do have a little bit of extra paper here this time, but not too much. And those pieces there, of course, they can go in the recycling bin later. I'll save that for another project. Okay, so now this part is pretty tricky. We are going to weave these together. So to do that, we'll just start on one end so we can see how this is going to be a heart, kind of, right? And I'm going to take this very end piece here, and I'm going to put it through the middle of the first one, and then the next one I'm going to take and pass through the middle of the pink paper. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same with the next one. I'm going to go through the middle of the blue, like that, and then I'm going to put the blue through the middle of the pink, like that. Okay, and then I'll just slide this along a little bit so that I have space for the next one. And now, because the pink went through the blue first on this one, I'm going to do the opposite for this one. So the first one, the blue is going to go in the middle of the pink. Just take a look and make sure. Yep, so we see the blue and the pink is in the middle, and this one's, the blue is in the middle and the pink's on top. And then the next one, the pink will go through the blue. And it can be a little bit confusing, and you have to make sure you're going through the middle of the paper, not just up and down underneath, otherwise you won't be able to open that basket. Alright, so that's through the middle of the blue. That means the next one, the blue goes through the middle of the pink. Okay, and I can open up my pink here and just feed the blue through. And then this one, the pink is going to go in the middle of the blue. I've done this a bunch of times and I get it mixed up almost every time. It's not too bad. You can just go back and fix it, and I'll just slide these along. And okay, and now we're ready for the next one. Now the next one, the pink is going to start going through the middle of the blue. Come on, go through. That's the way. There we go. And then the next one, since that was the pink through the blue, now we need the blue through the pink. And there we go, just like that. And so that was blue through pink. So next we'll have to put the pink through the blue. Come on, open up blue. There we go. And the pink goes through the middle of the blue. And there we go. And now we won't forget, it looks right if I leave it just like that, but it's not quite. We want to get that blue paper through the pink. So open up pink. There we go. Oops, my pink came out of the blue. And there we go. Alright, and now I'm just going to slide everything down. And now this is where, if you didn't cut far enough in, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. So we need to move these all the way to the end, so we have as much space as possible at the end. Otherwise it's really difficult to get that last piece through. Alright. I think that does it. Okay, so now we had pink in the middle, and then blue in the middle, and then pink in the middle, so that means that the blue is going to go in the middle for this first one. So I can open up that pink, and whoops, come on. Put my finger in there to keep it open this time. There we go. So the blue's in the middle. Now the pink needs to go through the blue. And it can be tricky, especially if you've got big grown-up fingers like me. Tricky to get your finger through there. And if it crinkles a little bit, don't worry, because you can always flatten it out once you're finished. But the important thing is to get it nice and tightly woven so it doesn't fall apart. There we go. So now the pink's in the middle. And then the next one, of course, the blue's going to go in the middle. And then the very last one that locks it all together is the pink is going to go in the middle of this blue. I'll just open it up with my finger and get that pink in there. And there we go, without any glue or staples. If it's all been woven right, it should look the same on both sides. And you should be able to open it up and you have a little pocket here. Alright, so then the book. Alright, so this is what we can use the crayons for. And like I said, you can draw pictures, or you could write a poem, or anything you want really. see. I'm making this for my wife, and her name is Chiharu, so I'm going to write Dear Chiharu. D-E-A-R. Dear Chiharu. Roses are red. I'm going to change colors for this. Let's see, what colors do we have? Green. There we go. There's a nice blue. Violets. Are blue. Violets are another kind of flower. These are both kinds of flowers. This is a classic poem. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I want to say... What do you think I want to say? Can you guess? That's right. I love you. And then on this last page, I'm going to write lots of love, James. And there we go. And then I'm going to put my nice little poem into the heart-shaped basket, just like that. And there we go. We've got a nice Valentine. I made a Valentine for you. The heart shape says I love you. H-E-A-R-T, H-E-A-R-T, H-E-A-R-T. The heart shape says I love you. And there is our bundle of hearts for Valentine's Day. So I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out support the work that I do. And you won't get notifications because this content is made for children. If you would like to contact me, you can contact me through Babylon Kids on Facebook, and there's a link for that down below, or I've also got an Instagram, and that link is also down below. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo, I love you. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skidamarinky dinky dink, skidamarinky doo, I love you. Ooh, boop, boop, be doo. Happy Valentine's Day.